I am a musician first and foremost. I do all this other content related to music, but not necessarily related to my music specifically, on all these various social media platforms because it's sort of two sides of the same coin. I would much rather be spending all my time writing, recording, performing, releasing music, obviously. But I do love talking about music stuff. You know, I mean, when I'm not playing and performing, this is probably what I would rather be doing. One of the topics on Jamnatomy that I've always kind of wanted to touch on, but I didn't really feel like I had a good angle to start with, is music distribution. There's all these different music distribution services out there, and they all have pros and cons. And DistroKid always seems to be they're the ones that are the most balanced. And actually, I think they're like the cheapest too for the types of services that they offer, where you can just upload as many tracks as you want. And that can be a massive impact to an artist that releases regularly. Okay, so let's say you sign up for DistroKid and you release tracks and now you're trying to figure out how you get paid. Well, that's actually the best part about DistroKid, I think. At some companies, and I have experienced this personally, they'll take a cut of your sales on top of what you already paid to get the track online or to get the album or whatever the release is online. With DistroKid, they take nothing. You get 100% of your royalties. I mean, that's insane. The idea that you could potentially just earn 100% of as many songs or as many tracks as you want to upload in a given year. It's nuts. To talk about features is to actually talk about the upload process. And it is so simple. Once you sign up, you actually just go right to the upload form. It's easy to fill out. It's super strict because they want to make sure that things don't get rejected. So they guide you along the way. There's all sorts of little prompts that help you along. So you'll notice here that all the stores, you have options to choose or not choose. I don't know why you would not choose to put them on a particular store or to put your music on a particular store, but you have that option. You can specify the number of songs. So if this is an album, or an EP or something like that, obviously you're gonna specify more than one. Otherwise, it's a single. It's obviously, you have to specify whether or not it's been released before. It's really important for, linking things up and any conflicts that might arise. You have to specify your artist name. If it's been in use before by someone else, it might try to link to someone, or you can specify that no, you're a new artist. And release date, pre-order, stuff like that, that's reserved for the Musician Plus plan, so you won't see that if you've got the regular Musician plan. Record labels, same thing. Album cover, I just uploaded a test album cover here, but you definitely want to adhere to the restrictions just to make sure you're not going to get rejected. And plus, you want it to look good when people are looking at it on their phones and with super high resolution. They're going to give you a little bit of guidance here. This is a great example. So if I type demo song, notice that it pops up and says, oh, wait a minute, you might not want to do that. You have the best chance of getting your music out there and with no rejects and just making this a really smooth process for you. Again, you can choose whether or not you wrote the song or someone else. If it's cover song, then you have to pay a little bit, but you can actually run all your covers through this and they take care of all the licensing for you, which is phenomenal. You can specify multiple artists that were involved in the song. You can specify lyrics, a few other options, track price. I believe that's for, So track price is for Musician Plus only. Sorry, I'm on that higher level plan and I have been for a long time, so I don't really look at the other one too often. But there are some extras here, Instagram and Facebook. Definitely I would suggest putting that on there because it gives people the option to choose that when they're creating a story. They can actually use your song in it. They can look it up on the Instagram database or the Facebook database. YouTube Money. If you want a service that will dig through YouTube and find where people have used your music in videos and then slap an ad on it and give you revenue, that's what this would be for. It's only $4.95 a year, and if this is a bigger release for you, then I could definitely see where that would be valuable. They do also take 20% of the ad revenue as well, so that's something to consider. But it's an addition to the service, and you don't have to think about it. You don't have to go find some other way to track that stuff. There's some other options here. I won't go too much into that. When you go to upload your music, you can really kind of dive into this and figure out what works best for you. And then they've got some agreement stuff down at the bottom. And this is going to be really important that you read through it just to make sure that you know what you're doing. You know what to expect when you hit that done button. You upload your music and it becomes part of your account. So if I click over here, you can see right now I've just recently sort of wiped the slate clean. I just started with a new artist label or an artist name, and I've got 2 songs that I released as singles. You can click in there and get a lot more information of what stores it's synced to, and you can add the additional services as they become available. You can also, continue to add features if you decide later on you want to do that and you didn't decide at the very beginning. So you still got some flexibility after you've made that initial upload. So moving on to teams, this is going to be really helpful if you want to split revenue basically with another artist. Now, the one caveat is that artist has to also be an artist on DistroKid. So you have an account at DistroKid, another artist has an account at DistroKid, and you guys work on, some kind of collaboration and you want to split the revenue. The person that uploads that track will then be able to say, okay, I get this much, this artist gets this much, so on and so forth. The daily stats is probably more for artists that are starting to grow a little bit. They're trying to keep track of where their listens are happening or really, where their growth is. That's something that I don't know that is going to be super valuable right out the gate. As you can see, with my newer releases, I haven't even really pushed these enough. I don't really pay attention to the stats right now. I can definitely see as I start running campaigns, this is going to become super important. But until then, it's just something that it's nice to have. And this is, by the way, for the Musician Plus plans. So that's where you're going to see that. The upgrade, which is this screen right here, it's going to give you the option to upgrade your account if you haven't already. Bank is just exactly what it says. It's where you handle finances. I'm not going to click on that. That's just a bunch of stuff, related specifically to my my account with DistroKid. The settings page, there are some serious gems on this screen. The referral program, that's kind of cool because it's sort of to some extent like my program here where I'm giving you a link and getting you a discount, and I also get a small kickback from that. And you can do the same thing on that side of the fence. So you can take your special link that you get created, give it to, maybe one of your friend bands, and they can sign up and you get a little bit of kickback, they get a discount. So that's really cool. Hyperfollow might be one of the coolest little features that I don't really hear a whole lot about from DistroKid. It's basically a page that is created for each one of your releases that you can give out the link to, and people will go to that link and then they can click on your Spotify button and all the other music services, and it'll, for the relevant service, it'll follow your artist for their account. So let me show you what I mean. We'll click on Blood and Water, click Visit, and you can see that, it's got the release here. It's got all these links to these different services, and it's just a really good central point where you can send people for a release, and that's really awesome for, trying to keep a really cohesive initial marketing release. So Marcel Generator. This is why I like DistroKid, because they do funny things like this. All this is just a way that you can put your music into a pre-made video that's popular, and then basically they give you it to download and you can post it on your social media accounts. It's super stock. They're not going to give you tons of different video options. They've got a couple. I think, yeah, so one is Friends, another is the movie Clerks 2, and then another is Baby Yoda, which I think is actually getting a lot of play right now. So make one with your song, so you can choose which song you want to use, choose which one you want. They've got Seinfeld too. That's pretty much it. It's pointless in some ways, in some other ways it's freaking awesome. I know that I actually got a lot of response when I posted up the Baby Yoda Marcel Generator. So it's pretty cool. So Vault stores your files. Fixer, that you can fix issues if there's something wrong with one of the uploads or some information on one of the services. The rest of these I would really suggest just spending some time digging through, especially the Spotify for Artists, because that's really important to set up your Spotify artist page for that professional look to your release. Down here, I do want to quickly mention that the support center is really good. It's got a lot of good basic information if you've got questions. DistroKid News is a great outlet for finding out what is currently going on, what they're getting ready to release, what they have released. Instagram, this is phenomenal. They've got a bunch of quick little videos. Phil kind of talks through a lot of the stuff that is happening in the community that you're going to be interested in. I could have gone a lot deeper, but it's really a good idea to just kind of get started and explore as the need arises. It's all super easy to use, but to go too deep too early will just end up paralysis by analysis. So that's it. That's my pitch. I'm done talking. Go click on the link below to get your additional 7% off your first year at DistroKid. Sign up, upload some music, have fun. If you have any questions about DistroKid or music distribution in general, leave them in the comments below. Thanks for watching.